Today on the Topic Show, Liberty Safe betrays their customers. Vivek Ramaswamy's tweet on the justice discrepancy gets 2 million views in 24 hours. Bud Light is saved by Bill Gates' cash infusion for their stock purchase. Bud Light football is back, but their fans are not for their Twitter. Bud Light Babylon Bee parody of Bill Gates' purchase goes viral on Twitter. Vivek's two-tier justice system gets 750,000 views in 8 hours. DeSantis is back on Twitter with a pharma commercial at 400,000 views in 9 hours. WeWork wants to negotiate their leases. GameStop is beating Wall Street expectations. Google sells up some of their apps for lawsuits. And the U.S. is pushing for an airbag recall with ARC Automotive. All of that and much, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder released twice today. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner and need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, this month we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going on to the business part of the podcast, you have WeWork wanting to renegotiate all of their leases so that they do not go out of business. Now, this also subsequently caused their shares to drop earlier this week by 4.8%, trading at about $3.42 per share. That is pretty darn bad. Just face value, that's not a lot of money per stock or for a single share of a stock. In fact, if you fall below $1 on the New York Stock Exchange, they slap you on the wrist and they tell you, hey, give us a business plan because if this happens again, you're getting delisted. So you actually need to be above $1 per share. Keep in mind, the company peaked at $400 per share when they're at their highest. Even with them, having some business issues and precipitously dropping in value, interestingly enough, they still have 777 locations. And that's across 39 countries. Of course, that's perhaps a couple months dated. That's statistics based from June 30th, 2023. Now, the sites also inside those places have about 906,000 workstations, and they claim they have 653,000 physical memberships. So, again, I know public math scores at all-time low, so we'll do a little fun math today. That's about a 72% occupancy rate. So that's actually pretty darn good in terms of percentage. Of course, you want to have as close to 100% as possible because that's when you get the good ROI. Every time you're not at 100, you're obviously losing money because of lost opportunity. But considering how much issues the company has had throughout the years, I think 72% is pretty good. Although, in terms of valuation, they used to be valued at $400 per share, and they used to be worth $47 billion, which is astonishing. And it quite literally was a multi-billion-dollar idea, and then they kind of overextended themselves. In the beginning, they were putting all these deposits down and getting all these leases without having any guaranteed occupancies signed on as well. So there are a lot of issues throughout the company's history. And then with the whole pandemic, and now people might want to lock down the countries again. What's that going to do in terms of the WeWork business? Are people just going to, again, work from home even more? I mean, anecdotally speaking, a lot of businesses my IT company works with in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, we noticed a lot of businesses, instead of having a traditional headquarters, they actually downsized dramatically to have more of they call it like a hotel offering. So it's one of those situations where there's a main office, but not everyone has an assigned seat, and it's more of an option. So like if you have customers coming in and you want to maybe host them for an event or a meeting, you have those facilities. And for the employees who do prefer working in a traditional office and they kind of thrive in that environment, they have a place to go. But it's sized down dramatically. And another thing we noticed is just getting rid of the headquarters completely and saving hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in some cases. And of course, there's a lot of benefits to that business model, which is why we've seen so many companies moving away from the traditional headquarters. So I think that helped WeWork a little bit because instead of a traditional headquarters, some of them buy their employees a WeWork membership. But if the country starts to lock down again, it's becoming a political issue in the United States. So there very well may be some people who actually just ignore it completely, just go out whenever. There may be some people who acquiesce and they'll put on a mask and they'll stay home. There's a lot of variables that are going to hurt WeWork in the near future. It'll be interesting to see, is this concept going to survive long term? I think long term, I think it's still a good business idea, but Will it be profitable to have it on that such a scale? That'll be interesting to see. And of course, it'll really depend on how much they can really renegotiate those lease agreements to see if they can get that price down to a profitable point. So it'll be interesting to see, but you know me, as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you everyone again for taking the time to tune in. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. I know it's a tall order, but every click counts. Also, I especially appreciate you taking the time to like and comment. Feedback is always important. It helps the channel grow and develop. It even helps me improve everything from slowing down my speech to trying to be more concise with my speech and try to articulate so you can actually hear me a majority of the time. And my goal is to keep improving that skill set throughout the show. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.